Siapa ni nak menyekat minyak sawit Malaysia ni lah. Jadi saya sebagai broker memang rasa memang kecewa lah kalau sawit kita tak dapat jual. Kerana inilah salah satu daripada mata pencarian kita.
Tuduhan daripada pihak luar yang mengatakan kita menebang hutan adalah tak benar lah. Pasal kita ada ladang yang sedia ada, memang ladang itu kita jaga dengan baik. Sejak 1990 kita tidak ada penebangan hutan.
Palm oil is the most efficient edible oil when it comes to land use. They contribute about 3.6 metric ton per hectare. So if you look at in terms of the yield that produced per hectare, this is the best edible oil in the world.
Tuduhan dari EU ni memang menjejas imej kita lah. Majoriti pendapatan kita dari dulu atuk saya adalah sawit. Ladang dia waris kepada ayah saya, yang membesarkan saya pun dari sawit. Kalau ada supporting pendapat dari sawit, memang boleh meringankan beban saya.
Do you eat pizza, roti canai, use cooking oil, use soap, eat chocolate, use lipstick? I'm pretty sure most of us do. What do these things have in common? They all pretty much have palm oil in them. With palm oil being so prevalent in our lives, not just here but worldwide, this also means that the palm oil industry in Malaysia is a very important one, not just as a vital source of livelihood, but also as a major contributor to the Malaysian economy as well as conservation. Palm oil is one of Malaysia's primary industries and its main agricultural export globally. Malaysia is the world's second largest palm oil producer and exporter after Indonesia. In 2022, Malaysia exported around 24.7 million metric tons of palm oil and palm-based products, valued at over $29 billion. This means that in 2022, the gross domestic product contribution from palm oil in Malaysia was estimated to be at 3.1% of its GDP. That's quite a lot. So all in all, the palm oil industry contributed around $10 billion to Malaysia's total GDP in 2022. In recent years, there has been growing awareness regarding the environmental impact of oil palm cultivation, coupled with the emergence of protectionism in the global economy, posing challenges for Malaysia's palm oil industry. Campaigns such as the inclusion of no palm oil labels on products and the increased focus on human rights issues have garnered significant attention for the Malaysian palm oil sector, although sometimes with a critical viewpoint. The European Union, being one of the largest importers of Malaysian palm oil, had effectively passed a law to phase out the use of palm oil in biofuels by 2030. The EU had also agreed on a new regulation which bans the sale of commodities linked to deforestation, unless importers can show that the production of their specific goods has not damaged forests.
Kalau kita tak dapat jual minyak sawit kita, dia akan menjejas pendapatan. Kita sedang berusaha untuk menidakkan apa yang dikatakan. Seperti yang dia katakan, kita pakai boroh budak-budak, kita membunuh haiwan-haiwan liar, kan? Seperti yang dikatakan kita ni menebang hutan. Sebenarnya mana ada kita tebang hutan? Kalau dulu memanglah, tapi sekarang ni mungkin kita ni tanam semula. Kali yang kedua, kita memanglah nak buang sawit-sawit tu untuk ganti yang baru. Itu yang mungkinlah yang pendapat saya, dia katakan kita tebang hutan.
If you look at palm oil, there's no scientific evidence for people to accuse us about palm oil. In fact, if you look at in terms of the effectiveness and the efficiency of using land, and also compare that with all the edible oil in the world, palm oil is the most efficient edible oil in as far as land use is concerned. And therefore, if you talk about deforestation, this is the best edible oil that contributing to the less deforestation in the world. And What we have today, 5.7 million hectares, is enough for us to produce what we produce currently, and we feel strongly that we should be party to play a role in avoiding of deforestation.
Did you know that the oil palm cultivation area represents only 17% of Malaysia's total land area? And it's also worth noting that Malaysia's forest cover currently stands at approximately 55%, surpassing the 50% commitment made at the 1992 Rio Earth Summit. Moreover, deforestation of primary forests in Malaysia has shown a reducing trend since 2016. And as of the latest World Resources Institute report, the rate currently stands at 57%, specifically from the years 2020 to 2022. Most of this is contributed by the palm oil sector through the adoption of sustainability schemes, such as the MSPO and No Deforestation, No Peat and No Exploitation commitment. The establishment of MPO GCF in 2021 also enhances the industry commitments towards the conservation of forests, biodiversity, as well as endangered wildlife such as orangutan, pygmy elephant, tiger and tembadau in the country. These has raised claims of discrimination against palm oil and unfair protectionism from palm oil producing countries like Malaysia and Indonesia. Hence the question, are these fears justified?
The way we manage our plantation here, we always hold to the concept of sustainability. So in the case of palm oil, we have subscribed to that sustainability. We'll make sure there's no deforestation. Number two, we make sure there's no forced labor, and then we make sure that all that we have done in compliance with international standard. And that's the reason why the country have their own standard called Malaysian Sustainable Palm Oil Certification.
To improve the competitiveness of the country's palm oil industry and strengthen its sustainability practices, the Malaysian Sustainable Palm Oil MSPO certification was introduced, aligning the management of palm oil production with many existing national laws and regulations. It is the national scheme in Malaysia for all palm plantations, independent and organized smallholders, and palm oil processing facilities to be certified adhering to the requirements of the MSPO standards. The MSPO scheme allows for oil palm management certification and supply chain certification.
There's three main criteria of MSPO. One, we ensure that if you don't have a land title, you cannot pass through MSPO. If you plant a palm oil in the jungle and there's no title, you are unable to sell. Third, we make sure that no activity or deforestation.
Sijil MSPO juga mengajari kita untuk mengamalkan amalan pertanian yang baik. Kita di ladang, kalau ikut undang-undang, kita tidak boleh membuat pembakaran terbuka, pembunuhan binatang liar. Kita juga membuat sungkupan, itu tandan kosong pada pangkal pokok bagi melembabkan tanah dan juga meningkatkan hasil sawit lah. Sebab kata orang tu dia mesra alam. Kita tidak menggunakan sebarang racun apa semua.
With over 450,000 smallholders, constituting 26% of oil palm cultivation in the country, it is evident that the smallholders play a significant role in this industry. Currently, the Malaysian palm oil industry also serves as a vital support system for an additional 3 million people indirectly, encompassing both higher-skilled and lower-skilled labor sectors. With the MSPO now mandatory in the palm oil industry, and about 97% of the total 5.6 million hectares of oil palm planted in Malaysia already MSPO certified, is the European ban on palm oil still justified? You decide.
Untuk mendapatkan sijil MSPO, saya sediakan lesen pengepung kecil dan saya serah kepada pegawai tunas MPOB. Pihak MPOB banyak membantu kita untuk menyediakan latihan audit MSPO. Selepas lulus audit, kita dianugerah sijil MSPO. Sijil ini untuk memastikan sawit kita adalah mampan atau sustainable. Ini untuk memudahkan kita memasarkan ke market antarabangsa.
Pasaran global itu kita perlu, pasal daripada situ income negara akan termasuk dalam situ. Jadi kita boleh salur pada rakyat Malaysia lah, pendapatan rakyat Malaysia alhamdulillah stabil lah.
With how prevalent palm oil has been in our lives so far, it really is up to us to keep the train going. If we don't support our own resources as Malaysians, then who will?
Sijil tu perlulah. Sebagai seorang broker, kita kena bertanggungjawab juga untuk membantu Felda untuk mendapatkan sijil MSPO ni. Bila kita dah ada sijil, orang tengok sawit saya ni memang dah memang ada kualiti, kan? Jadi bila ada kualiti, kita dah boleh diiktiraf lah. Justru itu saya memang menyokong penuh kerajaan untuk menangkis segala tomahan-tomahan yang telah diberi kepada industri sawit.